Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Open Weekly. We've got 40 people racing. The people we've got racing here are P-Train, Old Man Sunshine, Dr. Barbastic, and Ravis. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So we see, Dr. Barbastic going to Link's house, P-Train in Sanctuary. I'm here with Nugs, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Welcome, Nugs.
We've already got a Moon Pearl. I can see where the excitement kind of skipped right past me. Hey, what the heck? This is fantastic. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, and thanks for the raid. Vinter, raiding in with 6. Like my buddy Goron here just said, we have a whopping 40 people racing today. That's 3 weeks in a row with 40, which is huge. I hope you're up for some good, exciting, open action. I know I am. We got some divergence here, even heading up to Lost Woods versus doing the Lumberjack Scout. So lots of excitement here.
Yep, we're seeing Old Man Sunshine in the Lost Woods drop down, P-Train checking Lumberjack Ledge, and Dr. Bobtastic is checking Uncle, and Ravis is checking Lost Woods as well. Didn't see much in the... Oh, that's the Ice Rod in Lost Woods, so that's definitely good. And...
Ice Rod Hunt is off the table. I mean, I guess technically there was an Ice Rod Hunt. It was just extraordinarily brief. And gloves! All right, if we're getting stuff to start, that is always better than no stuff. Big fan.
Yeah, definitely always good to see all of these things.
And we're actually heading into CAC with money too, which is even better.
Yep, definitely really good for the bottle vendor. So that's definitely good to see. We're seeing, well, Dr. Bobtastic is going to Lost Woods. Old Man Sunshine is farming for bombs, I believe.
Yeah, he's
before
down
going
to
into
50-50 with 0 luck, by the way.
And P-Train is just in the Lost Woods, did a triple, which we've seen. That is money, so that's good for this seed, really.
I didn't see what was on the crab, but triple's paying out, and that's more than enough.
So P-Train is going to be using that money to buy bombs. Before that, checking the back of the bar. Just a piece of heart. Old Man Sunshine has checked the race game. Didn't see what it is, but we'll see if they go in. And yeah,
a little rough. They didn't get any bombs either from their 2 trips for the 50-50. Gave up, and still don't have money for bombs on the way up through the shop. So that's a little rough. They didn't benefit from the tree pulls like everybody else.
Yep. P-Train is going from the south of Kakariko up, and we've got Chicken Hut, just money. Ravis is shortly going to look at that soon. Dr. Bobtastic is checking bar, and Old Man Sunshine is perhaps going to Cackwell.
I do have one request. I want at least 2 runners to finally sync. Okay, here we go. We have 2 runners doing the same thing finally.
Yay! I mean, they're all in the same area.
They were, but they were all
parts of Kakariko.
I mean, that's a lot of excitement. I like it. All right, let's see what Cackwell is.
Wow. Yeah, the fire rod. Whoa.
All right, I'll take it. Not a whole lot else, but the fire rod is good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean that's Trinex down. Well, you need a sword, and you'd somehow need to magically teleport to Trinex, but you know.
We also managed to find Bob's pretty much right away, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. Pays off for Old Man Sunshine, or at least he doesn't get punished like he could have been. That could have been really rough, forced 2 orphans, but we are
money and
golden.
Oh, sorry. Money in the lamp in Blind's hut. And bombs again, so really helping out Old Man Sunshine.
No, that's good. It's not fun to watch one person get punished heavily and have to, double back and then be late to everything else going, through the start here. So it's nice everybody's going to kind of be at the same pace.
Yeah, definitely. Ravis is now going up to see Hyrule Castle. We'll see if this is just an uncle check or if this is much more.
With the fire rod, I think it could be much more. It probably should be much more if you're already making the trip up here. I'm not a fan of just doing the two personally, but they have a weapon, so.
Yes, definitely. A weapon will definitely help.
One may even say it's mandatory. Old Man Sunshine making the bomb purchase regardless.
It can be peace of mind, so
Absolutely.
it's understandable.
This screams so short from him, but no, he's actually going up to escape in castle.
So we're seeing Ravis going up to castle alongside Old Man Sunshine. P-Train is checking South Shore, and Dr. Bob-tastic is doing the race game at the moment. I mean, we still need quite a lot for anything, really. We need the bow for Eastern. We'll need the book or a ton of items for Desert. The mirror for Hera. Going up the mountain is possible, but something's got to appear, hasn't it?
I would say the two biggest things that are going to give us stuff to do. Obviously, the flute would be great, but hammer or hook. Hammer or hook is what's going to open up the most for us. So hammer is going to give us the natural dark world access we're looking for. Hookshot's going to give us access to a bunch of the mountain. We get them both together, we get even more excitement. Or mirror. So there's a few things that are going to pop things open really quickly for us.
There was a book and a hookshot in Mini Moldome Cave. That hookshot, yeah, that's gonna help a lot. Gonna give a lot of East Step Mountain checks, and the book gives access to Desert Palace, which I think Desert Palace could be boots locked, but possibly not. Of course, I know one of our runners did a map check. We haven't seen, because I haven't seen, because that was quick, what Eastern Palace, Desert Palace, and Tower of Hera were, so it's possible they're pendants.
Eastern and Desert were crystals. Hera was a pendant. I don't know which. I am pretending I saw it. I didn't. I am relying on our trackers who nailed it. So that was all on our trackers today. Who, by the way, is Crom and Pearson Kid. I hope I'm saying that right. Pearson Kid too. You guys definitely the heroes on that one.
Yes, definitely. Thank you to both our trackers here tonight. Thinking Old Man Sunshine is going further into Hyrule Castle. P-Train is checking Agina's Cave, and that's just 20 rupees. Might go into Desert, we'll just have to see. Ravis is doing Back of Escape, and Dr. Bob-tastic might be doing Mountain, but the sad thing is that Dr. Bob-tastic does not have that hookshot.
Yeah, he's missing out on the shot, and P-Train's missing out on the glove. If they had both pieces, this is easily the best play. Our combined knowledge tells us that the mountain is like the most dense place to go for items right now. Just neither of them are able to do it right yet.
Yeah, definitely. There's tons of stuff up the mountain. Another thing that I'd be thinking at the back of my head, although the reason the runners possibly haven't done it because it's a little bit isolated, is Sahasrama. But definitely with our combined knowledge, East F Mountain is quite a good one. If they can get that glove or that hookshot.
Yeah, we do have Saha's I like the idea of Saha as soon as we hit bow, but if Mountain's dry, Saha will probably be the next play. Saha and Eastern. We can get through both of those pretty quick. But we are on that hammer hunt, or second gloves. I mean, we could be Mit's access to Dark World as well.
Mm-hmm. So we see by that big key that Desert Palace is not boots locked. And we see that it's only a piece of heart that's boots locked, so that's quite good for P-Train here.
Nothing up on Spec Rock, so we're not really worried about the mountain too much. Dr. Bobtastic's not really gonna lose out on a whole heck of a lot of time by not having that mirror. As soon as he finds that hook, he still has access to that saving point on the mountain, and he's gonna rip across and do those checks. So, not really a big deal. A little bit of time lost, but nothing major.
Old Man
Two people
Sunshine.
synced up in the dam. Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
3 almost.
That was amazing to see. Yeah,
Just out of
they're so
nowhere.
synced right now. Just don't desync them. Just keep them the same, please. I want to see them sync throughout this whole run. And a lot of money is P-Train's second item, so Desert Palace is dry.
Just some
Effectively.
soggy sticks outside of the dam. P-Train looks like he's off to get his gloves here. Yeah, so he's gonna grab his gloves, and that opens up. I guess he's left with Mountain by the looks of it. Mountain or Zora.
So Hera was a blue pendant. To clarify, yes, this will definitely be good for P-Train. All 3 runners in Mini Moldorm Cave. It's just P-Train that's done Mini Moldorm Cave before. They might all get their hook shots and their gloves at the same time and be at the same level of gear.
Ravis dealing with the Mini Moldorm Cave just a little bit faster than the others. Some people are just luckier.
Mm.
Bad Moldorm RNG. It sucks. But we're off to Ice Run.
Definitely. And yeah, as it says in the chat, you know, it's just lovely volunteering for all of this stuff, and we've got a lovely community. So feel free to volunteer and help out whichever way you can if you want to.
If you don't want to, I still suggest coming and checking it out anyway, because you'd be surprised.
Gravis is now checking the Ice Rock Cave. So this is 1 check, and it's just 20 rupees. Gravis is saving and quitting. We'll see if Old Man Sunshine does the same thing. And if they will do some fake flippers, perhaps, with the Moon Pearl. Is what I possibly think of, but we'll just see.
It's definitely on the table. I think the allure of the mountain is just a little bit too intense because there's so much more up there. So you might as well do what you can in logic versus things that are out of logic. That being said, though, I still maybe would have fake flippered. I don't know. It's still a good play.
I mean, for Old Man Sunshine, going up the mountain is just going home again, so it makes sense, right?
He's gotta go rescue his brother.
Yeah, that might be a slight pain. So the first person to go up the mountain is Ravis. We'll see what the old man gives us today.
Well, we did see that already. It's 10 sticks, I believe, and that was from Dr. Bobtastic, who went up without hook. Right, so he's already he's seen Old Man, he's seen Spec Rock, and then bailed. These 3, when they go up, they are all going to be able to actually do all of East Death Mountain as well. Most of East Death Mountain. Hopefully we find the hammer, we can come right to Hera afterwards. That'd be great.
It's possible. I mean, with regards to progression, all I can personally think of right now are Spiral Cave, Paradox Cave, and then Sahasrar's Hut and Eastern Palace. That should be all that's possible. So these checks will dry up eventually.
Yeah, so that's why I think if my math is okay, the 8 unknowns on the mountain, and then 6 more over on Saha and eastern side. So 14 things we don't know, plus Zora, 15.
And Old Man Sunshine is redeeming the bottle for 20 rupees. So nothing on Sick Kid. So just saying what our runners are doing. P-Train is in Back of Escape. Dr. Bobtastic is in Desert Palace. Old Man Sunshine has got the mitts.
And his boots.
Yes. Yep. Where were possible boots? Did I miss-see 20 rupees and Old Man Sunshine actually got the boots off of Sick Kid?
They're the fastest 20 rupees I have ever seen. Most comfortable, too.
Okay, so yeah. Well,
Back
this
to
is
Saha. Thank you. There we go. Because I missed those too. I was too busy watching. I was wanting to watch what Ravis is going to show us up here on the mountain. But there we go. So Boots, we're back of Saha.
thank you ever so much. So we'll see if the other runners get those. But yeah, back of Saha, boots to mitts. This is definitely going to help Old Man Sunshine's mountain climb. Because that's Hookshot Cave.
That is like
And
almost everything up
yeah.
there. That is a lot of checks that he gets to do now.
And ooh, there's Bonk Rocks. So
Sorry, and they're in the light world. Yep. Okay, we got it confirmed again.
There's also King's Tomb Old Man Sunshine can do, but it seems as though they're going to go up the mountain. Dr. Bob Tastic has decided that he's going to face off against Lammo, so we'll see if this is a good fight.
I'm coming up dry so far on the light side. Nothing on Floating Island. That looked like bombs on Floating Island to me. I could be mistaken. That was a quick check.
It looked the same to me. Yeah, so that's Dr. Bob Tastic's first crystal, 16 minutes, 8 seconds. And in the meantime, everybody else is in the mountain in one way or another.
Old man finding himself in a dark cave.
And that's the bow in Spiral Cave.
Oh my.
So that's going to take Gravis to the back of Saha's house, so that will be good. And eventually to Eastern Palace, which is a crystal, so always good to see.
Yeah, big fan. That's going to be a single dip of Eastern. But, I mean, they're all going to be able to single dip Eastern, which is nice. That said, I think, depending on how this gets routed, one of them might be able to do it all a little bit more efficiently. Unfortunately, with the boots being where they were, and the bow are leading to mitts over on the other side of the world, bow being on the mountain, I don't think you avoid double dipping a bunch of this stuff. I think you kind of have to. So the routing isn't as clean as one would hope.
Which could be good from the sense that if you dip less than your opponent, you might feel good in the head. But at the same time, if you might go, okay, I've double dipped this mountain effectively. Have my opponents done it once, which, it's always tough to see.
I think I like Old Man Sunshine's position the most because I think this completely eliminates an entire mountain climb on their side. More so than everybody else. Everybody else is going to have to do that extra climb. And Old Man Sunshine gets to do it with boots too, so I think I like his position the most, or their position the most, sorry. But it's all still really tight. Like, nobody's really wasted time doing anything. There's been stuff everywhere.
Yes, definitely, and there's a lot more checks that these runners can possibly do. The Dark World is open to Old Man Sunshine at the moment, but it will probably be open for all of our runners, in a few minutes, really. So, Grave is checking Eastern Palace. There's not much in the first two chests. We'll see if there's anything further in. There's a ton of checks, though, so it wouldn't be surprising if there was nothing in Eastern Palace apart from this crystal.
Eastern is certainly a less likely place just due to density. Like, Hookshot Cave screams out up on the mountain. It screams, pick me, pick me. And then we have all of VOO, which we can come back to shortly, but I'm sure we'll see something really quick here. We must. I hope so.
Flippers, or the flute, would always help with mobility. That's 20 rupees in the Eastern Palace big chest, and Ravis is going to the big key chest, and he's going to eventually make his way and face off against Armos. And yeah, P-Train, Old Man Sunshine, and Dr. Bobtastic are all still up the mountain. Old Man Sunshine is making their way into the Dark World, Dark Death Mountain, giving us a check and pendant, green pendant Skullwood, and then a pendant Swamp Palace. The rest were crystals. I can't tell you which ones were the 5-6, so we'll see that again.
It looked to me like Pod and Ice? Question mark? No, Desert was one of them. I think Ice was the other. I'm with you though. It was a little too quick for me, and I tried to catch it on my other stream side, and still missed it. Missed it twice.
So Old Man Sunshine checking Super Bunny Cave, just 20 rupees and 20 rupees. So
Deja rupees.
Super Rupees Cave.
Still disappointed.
So Dr. Bobtastic is going to Saha's hut. While he's in Saha's hut, P-Train is going the same way. Old Man Sunshine has checked the medallion. I did not see what it is, and now they're going into Hookshot Cave.
TR was the red. Was the other red, by the looks of it. 20 rupees in the first, 10 sticks in the second. Hookshot Cave, come on now. Piece of heart. Old Man Sunshine, you got one more. Ooh. I was really worried they were going to say we quit there and miss one. The mirror!
That's the mirror.
Okay.
Well, that puts Tower of Hera in logic, but it is a pendant, so it's we'll see what Old Man Sunshine decides to do. They decide to save and quit, so no Hera yet.
You were very, very right about Eastern being just utter disappointment, aside from a crystal. It was it was buried.
Well, this is always what happens when we commentate. You know, you can commentate everything correctly, but when you're in chat or when you're running these things, it never goes that way.
This is true.
So Old Man Sunshine is going to go into the Dark World now. We'll see if this is for Skull Woods or Turtle Town, Thieves Town.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Turtle Town, and personally, I think Tower of Darkness is great. Ice Mire's fantastic.
Ice Mire.
In all seriousness, no, yes, we see him doing all of VOO and choosing to go south instead of north into Skullwoods, which I totally understand. It makes perfect sense. There is that argument out there that Pendant Skullwoods, the front of Skullwoods, is overworld. I don't subscribe to that personally, but I get it. I like this display right into Thieves Town. There's a lot of checks to get out of the way right quick here.
So there are 4 chests in the front of Thieves Town. We'll see if Old Man Sunshine goes for the 4 chests and then goes out of Thieves Town, or goes further in. It is a crystal, and looking at the setup, apart from the big chest, it is clearable. So actually, it is most likely that they will
He'd be crazy to
complete
leave. He'd be absolutely. He's got blue mail. He's got. Well, he doesn't have a sword.
Yeah.
I take it all back. He can't actually do it. Wow. Okay then.
I mean, they just got a B, so maybe they sit the B on blind.
So there's only one way. Okay, yeah. Bailing.
They decided the B was not
take it
enough.
all back. Okay, so we are desperately looking for a sword. A hammer would be fantastic. I mean, even either of the canes would give us a way to deal with Thieves Town here, but it does look like we have to leave it behind.
I mean, didn't you get the memo? This is a swordless seed.
Oh, I missed that one.
To clarify, that is a joke. There are 4 swords in the seed.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm saying that because it's been 24 minutes and none of our runners have found his sword yet.
Yeah, a melee weapon would be fantastic.
So Old Man Sunshine is going to go down and do the dig game, and is probably then going to go up and do the Smith chain. This is because well, in all fairness, as Old Man Sunshine has the mirror, and that is the third bottle, so we'll see where the fourth one is. With the mirror, it admits it's fine going back up, but even just trying to think. Okay, so Old Man Sunshine is going to K45, isn't going to K45, and that's Ravis's second crystal at 25 minutes and 4 seconds, and Old Man Sunshine is going for Smith Chain.
I think what we were starting to get at was that you have to knock out Dig Game. In order to do this in one kind of fluid sweep, you have to knock out Dig Game before you pick up Jeremiah here and take him mirror, turn him into their partner. You cannot do Dig Game with a follower, so that has to be done first. That's why you skipped all the rest, or they skipped all the rest. They will be doing all of this minus hammer pegs and dragging all of this down towards probably Hype Cave. I would suspect they go as far as Hype Cave.
Yeah.
With this chain.
Old Man Sunshine also can't do Magic Bat because they don't have the powder. To clarify right now, P-Train has got his first crystal, that's 25 minutes. And Dr. Bobtastic and Ravis are both sitting on 2 crystals at the moment. Old Man Sunshine has more material, but hasn't been dipping those crystal dungeons. But the thing is, if Old Man Sunshine gets everything, those will be go-moded. Effectively, Old Man Sunshine won't need to do extra checks, and therefore, whilst the other runners will make some time up, Old Man Sunshine will lose less in the grand scheme of things. So we'll see if this pays off. But yes,
the most time save would be probably from Desert by virtue of not having dipped that, but Eastern, the difference between go moding and not go moding Eastern, because they all had boots, isn't going to be the biggest gap. That said, though, with Old Man Sunshine being the first to Hype Cave, the first to finish this big Dark World loop, they have checked a lot more than everybody else.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot less to go back to.
P-Train has gotten his mitts. Old Man Sunshine got Bombos off of Stumpy, and is going to turn in that purple chest for 20 rupees. And soon going to be Hype Cave. How Hype Cave do you think Hype is? Oh, I say Hype Cave.
Sunshine, you cannot check. Oh, you can scout this. Can you scout this without? I thought you needed one to scout it.
You can scout this. You just need the book, yeah.
That's right.
And that's a little piece of love that probably won't be taken by anybody, sadly. But, so how hyped do you think Hype Cave will be?
Given that we have full knowledge of virtually everything else, minus Skullwoods and the back of Thief Sound, very.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we... no, I mean, there's got to be something here for progression for the most part. I mean, there's some minor other options, but this is the biggest spot.
I'll go 1 item. So basically a 6 out of 10.
I'll call 2 items. I'll one-up, yeah.
So just 3 bombs is the first item. 3 bombs again. Ether! A bottle, the 4th bottle.
And
Nugs, you win. You win. Yes, you win. That counts.
It's 1.5. We don't know if we even need Ether. But we did need the cane.
I mean, Turtle Rock requires Ether, Bombos, or Quake. That's my favorite blind quote.
I see what you did. Well, I hear what you did there. But yes, that gives us something to do, which is huge. Or it will give us something to do. Gives us access to Diver Down and Icebreaker 2, which is gonna entice these runners to go into Ice Palace and Swamp maybe a little earlier than they want to, or would normally go in, which is nice.
Yeah. Cane of Samaria is...
Here's the hammer.
Well,
oh my.
Cane of Samaria is good, but hammer is the hammer.
Why have a cane when you can have a hammer? So hammer in Skullwoods here, that is dangerous because this is a very avoidable Skullwoods, very last
Yeah,
locationable
definitely.
Skullwoods. So I think that's a huge up for Ravis right there.
So yeah, hey, Ravis getting that hammer, definitely very useful. I mean, that's Tower of Hera, because Ravis doesn't have the mirror. That is East Dark World. That is Palace of Darkness. I mean, that is a ton. That's even entry into Turtle Rock.
It's an out of logic ice as well,
Yep.
which is very functional. As soon as they do Hype Cave, I mean that's easy to do, easy 3 checks to get out of the way. But yeah, on that note, we're in a position now where we're thinking flippers and we're thinking flute as the next things we need to tick off on our list here. Aside from swords, I mean, a sword would be really nice. I don't know how you feel about having a sword, but I'm a fan personally.
I'm iffy about swords. Why would you need a sword when you've got the hammer? You know?
Have
I
you ever
mean,
tried to
it's
cut down
magic.
vines with a blunt object? I can tell you from personal experience, it's not fun.
You
Or
may have a
current, I
point.
guess. But we may not actually need
Talking
one.
about points, there is the bow, there are the arrows. Although, actually, in this game, they won't be able to just swing arrows at people. So, yeah, you have a point. We need the sword
Not for the reasons I mentioned, but you know, in order to.
in order to actually beat the game.
Yeah. There is that minor point that we need to address. The game needs to be beatable. So.
Mm. Oh yeah, also to do with the hammer, that opens the Thief's Town big chest.
It does, and this is going to allow Ravis to one dip Thieves Town here, because lo and behold, he has a melee weapon and can actually kill blind. I'm not a fan of killing blind with hammer, but we'll take what we can get.
I mean, it's not the worst blind fight. Ravis does have blue mail, does have 8 hearts, so hopefully that will be enough for him. So
Watch there just be a sword in the back of Thieves Town. I'm calling it here. There's a sword in the back of Thieves Town.
Dr. Bobtastic, right at this moment, because he does not have the mirror, has to go through the Smith World Tour, which is, you know, it's going to give Old Man Sunshine a lot of time, effectively.
Yeah, being that we know we can do this more efficiently, and we're not currently. This is kind of that one world tour. We're gonna have to loop back around with the dwarf rather than the frog, and then come back once again with the chest.
And Old Man Sunshine is picking up money in Eastern Palace. Is this a possible King Zora for Old Man Sunshine? I mean, none of our runners have done it yet. Possibly because none of them have had the flippers, so they can't do the waterfall checks in logic. Out of logic, they should be able to, though.
I think with other things to do, it's maybe not so far in front of their, or like on the top of their list of things to do. There's also that thought out there where it's been in logic for quite a while, and we haven't been blocked yet, so odds of Zora being something is fairly low at this point.
So P-Train is going into Hera. Is Hera any possible progression at this point? I mean, we've got a lot of items, but we're still missing flippers, flute. I mean, we're missing swords. I did not see what was on Ether tablets, so what was that?
I believe nothing. It's not something that caught my attention, and I did read it, or at least I read the individual words. I didn't read the whole sentence. Let's see if we're gonna actually have to do Hera Basement. That's what I'm excited about.
Just another piece of love again. And that is Old Man Sunshine's first crystal at 34 minutes.
Alright, we're gonna get the big chest here in Thieves Town. I believe there's 2 items left. I think there's an item here, and then there's one on blind, right? Yeah. Just a piece of heart. Rip.
Okay, so nothing in the big chest of Thieves Town. P-Train is going to be checking the big chest and the chest close to it. And if this small chest and Moldorm are not items, which that was a compass, that means that the basement and Moldorm are items, I believe. Unless the first check was an item and I just didn't register it as such.
The caged item was a small key.
Yes, so both the basement and Moldorm are items in this case. Old Man Sunshine is going to be collecting some more money and possibly going into Hera
We're getting blind down on
themselves.
Raven's side too.
And yeah, Blind has been defeated by Ravis. That's Ravis's third crystal. Nothing really in Thieves Town though, so we'll just see where it leads our runners effectively. I mean, between our knowledge, there are a few checks, so still a lot of checks to do.
This puts Ravis in a tidy up overworld, get to the mountain as quickly as possible for that mirror kind of position. Dr. Bob Tastic is about to get his mirror, which is good. P-Train, nothing exciting here. I guess we see Spike Cave now from P-Train. Can we see Spike Cave? No, not a chance. I am way ahead of us.
I don't think at that health, really.
You would
Although
need.
there is
Oh,
a
they've
red
got a fairy.
token.
They've got a hook shot. Yes, they can actually. They have enough to do it.
Ravis has gone into hammer pegs. I did not see what that was, so.
Oh, P-Train doesn't have his hammer yet. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, hammer is necessary for that.
Yeah, they could have topped off with fairies on the outside there, up by the portal. They still had a red potion until they burned it. They had a fairy in a bottle still. That plus hookshot, they would have had more than enough to get through Spike Cave if they had the hammer. So unfortunate.
So Dr. Bob Tastic is going to be going into Hera soon. P-Train has gone out of Hera and is now going to be doing the Dark World Village of Outcast checks, I believe. I don't know if he's done most of them before. He might just be going into Thieves Town. We'll just see. Yes, he has. And Ravis is soon to go into Hype Cave to get that Cane of Samaria and that Ether.
A little bit of overlap here. We do. I guess we're now in a position where we're waiting to see what the next new set of checks is, which I guess would be the flipper checks. Out of logic, maybe would be the next most dense thing to do.
I mean, Palace of Darkness. It is a crystal.
You're right. Yes.
But yeah, talking at this stage, I mean, these runners, they've allowed themselves to be restreamed for your enjoyment, really. Make sure to give them all a follow. They're all amazing people, so yeah.
And while you're at it, follow our trackers and my co-commentator Goron here. Our trackers being Crom and I'm going to get his name right this time, Parison Kid, too. Give everybody a follow. And we do have that pod play coming. Unless Ravis is going to check Legend Catfish first, which Ravis still hasn't gone to get his mirror. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so I mean that eliminates the desire to go up towards Catfish. I wonder who's the first that's gonna follow Ravis, but do so with mirror and give us some more excitement on this side. We shall see. But hey, we get some new checks out of pod, so I will take it.
Yeah, pod is one of our most item-heavy locations. 5 possible items in pod, so should be good to see, really.
And if anybody has been following the Cross Keys tournament that's been running lately, or if you have, I imagine you're a fan. I'm a fan personally. We all know there's going to be a small pod key in pod. In fact, there's probably going to be 6 of them.
I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations. There's 1 pod small key in pod. Now, are there 5 more, as per your prediction, Nugs?
I'm getting really good at predicting in pod. We shall see, though.
Yeah, so...
That said, though,
Raven,
what do you think we're going to get? What do you think the next progression item is going to be?
I mean, I think let's have flippers. It throws so much wide open. I don't know what Misery Mire and Turtle Rock medallions are, but Flute would just put it to Misery Mire. You know, a medallion might just put it to Turtle Rock. Flippers, it's like, do I do Ice Palace or do I do Swamp Palace? When they get the mirror, of course.
Yeah, and then the flipper checks are all in logic at that point as well. I'm with you. I personally would prefer it to be Flute. I think if I were in this position, because it's a little bit more concise direction and mobility. Yeah. But yeah, flippers add some flavor.
Yeah. See, yeah, I think if you're a runner, you would want Flute, but you know, as somebody commentating this, just for the intrigue and the excitement, I want it to be flippers.
Let's get more divergence, because we haven't had enough of that already.
I mean...
We've had a grand total of like 10 seconds where runners have been at the same spot, which is great.
And that was at the Dam, which is the Light World version of Swamp Palace, which means that all the runners should converge at Swamp Palace.
Well, I like your logic on this one, I do. Is Ravis going straight to the back? Ravis is going straight to Helma. And I guess you're going to have to do everything anyway, you might as well. There's no harm done here.
Yeah, I haven't checked the times of both going straight to the back and not, but they both seem to be of similar times, so it makes sense just doing the back and then going to do the front afterwards anyways.
It's identical, right? Because you're going to mirror at the big chest regardless. You're either mirroring or dying at the big chest. And I mean, hypothetically, you're killing Helma and coming to the front of the dungeon, not mirroring or dying in Helma, but same difference.
Okay.
If you're me, maybe you're mirroring it. It's a mistake we all make once.
Definitely. Ravis is making his way to the back, and that is Old Man Sunshine's second crystal, defeating Lammo at, well, Desert Palace. I have a question for you, Nugs.
Shoot.
Where are swords?
You know what? You keep saying this is swordless. Or sorry, maybe I've just got that playing in loop in my head in your voice, one of the two. But I have no idea. There's got to be one. We're in a position now where we have to have one in order to even continue. So, I mean, I suspect there's got to be one here in pod. Our first one should be here in pod.
You said, I suspect. It's an ice. Ice is confirmed, everybody. There. I got secret knowledge from Nugs. That's
not worried. There's your flippers. There's your good call, by the way.
That's Ravis's fourth crystal.
That's like 3 things we've predicted accurately. Let's just keep the torches down. That's good though. I mean, that is clear progression. That's a handful of checks that gives us swamp. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. There's positive. Well, there's always a sword and swamp. There's always a sword and pendant swamp. We know that, so that's a given.
So yeah, just keeping an eye on our races now because they're all doing checks the others have done pretty much, apart from Ravis. P-Train is doing Thieves Town. Old Man Sunshine is doing. Skull Woods, trying to bomb jump to the big chest. Didn't do the last one, so... Oh, there's a sword! There is a sword.
We're both right.
In
Flippers and a sword.
Whoa, amazing.
Crazy.
Swords exist.
I was getting really worried there for a minute, not gonna lie.
I mean... You could call it a sword, or you could call it an ore. You could use it to, you know, make sure you keep going forward in your boat that you're making with flippers. I'm trying to make this all maritime.
That's a stretch, much like our hookshot.
I see.
Full heart. Let's. So there's nothing in the big chest. That'll do it for a pod. So this gives Ravis his flipper checks. I don't imagine they're gonna beeline for Swamp, although that would be the play of the day if it was. But Ravis, come on, you need to get up that mountain and find your mirror there, friend.
Yeah, without that mirror, Ravis can't be doing Swamp Palace anyways. But yeah, it should be a good few flipper checks and then a dip into Ice Palace. Well, I say a dip into Ice Palace. That will be a full clear with with a killing of Cold Stare. But you know, it'll just take a few seconds.
Hammer Cold Stare is so fun. Sorry, that wasn't the right word. I'm gonna try to find a different word to use here. Hang on. It's definitely not fun though.
But yeah, so just looking. Ooh, Old Man Sunshine coming up, going up the grove, going past the farmland animals, checking with the book, and Ped is just couch cash. Move right along. So we do not have a Ped speed.
Our money can sleep peacefully.
Forever.
And ever, yeah, absolutely.
So
there we go. P-Train knocking out blind. That is done deal. That is another crystal for P-Train. Closing that gap here, although 4-2.
Yeah, so that's P-Train second. I mean, this is This is just how our runners have done things. Some have cleared more dungeons, some have cleared more overworld checks.
Divergence for Ravis. Ravis has just done things just a little bit more efficiently because Ravis didn't have to go up the mountain as many times. Ravis was able to do all of Eastern and saw in one swing as well, right? I believe that was the big difference for them.
I believe so.
Or no, because Ravis had boots and no. So it was Old Man that had boots and mitts prior to getting their bow.
I mean, Ravis was doing the same checks as our other runners until he got the hammer, which led him to Palace of Darkness, which is now leading him here to Ice Palace. So
right,
that's probably it. The other runners did, you know, more overworld checks effectively. And
Ravis went in and got his hammer from Skullwoods in a pendant dungeon very early compared to anybody else.
Yes,
that was huge.
Exactly. And talking about going into Palace of Darkness, that's what P-Train is about to do. But yeah, Ped is definitely dead. But it could have theoretically been flew. Yes, that is true. So, yep, P-Train is about to enter Palace of Darkness. Old Man Sunshine is giving us new checks. This is now going to be Graveyard Ledge. Dr. Bobtastic is in Thieves Town, and Ravis is facing off against Goldstare. So, let's see if this is done well.
That half magic pickup is a godsend here. Holy jeez. Being able to do this with Fire Rod with, you know, a little bit of extra rapid fire it just feels so much more comfy. Hammer Cold Stare is no bueno most of the time, unless you get some really good RNG with their bounces. Just a smoky there though, so I think we've picked everything up. I don't remember seeing Ice Tea, but I guess we did do it.
I'd assume
Mirror was in Hookshot Cave to answer chat. It was in the Hookshot chest inside Hookshot Cave.
So, just looking at everything, Turtle Rock is supposedly Quake, as shown by our trackers. So, Quake is needed, the flute is needed. Ravis well, does Ravis need the mirror? The mirror isn't necessary, considering our pendant layouts. Because the only thing the mirror could give us is Swamp Palace. And unless anything is mirror locked, which I don't believe anything has been, it's fine. Ravis is doing our flipper checks now, so is doing Under the Bridge.
Yeah, so far it very well could be mirror not required, but
I mean,
would be nice.
the mirror is always very useful, especially for things like Smith's Chain, which have turned out as nothing, but have saved some of our runners like Old Man Sunshine a lot of time, effectively. Dr. Bobtastic is on to his third crystal, having completed Thieves Town.
Realistically, actually, Ravis not having the mirror has been saving him time as well. He's been skipping checks that we already know to be useless. So as long as the seed doesn't kind of block him, and as long as there's nothing mirror locked down the road here, he'll be okay.
So Ravis is getting a bottle refill from the ferry, and gets the Cane of Burner. Cane of Burner does put Spike Cave... I'm just trying to think. It should put Spike Cave in Logic.
We've had multiple bottles and well over 7 hearts. Spike Cave has been in Logic for a while.
Okay. And that is a second sword in Zora Ledge. That's useful because a sword is necessary. We could assume that our runners will pick one up later, but still, a second sword means that the seed is completable. And King Zora giving a 60% rebate on the money that you pay them. And Ravis is saying no to that and yes to the sword. And at the moment, P-Train and Old Man Sunshine are in pod. It looks like Dr. Bobtastic is about to go into pod himself as well.
Hopefully Ravis does do, just to have the mirror, hopefully they do Hookshot Cave before doing TR here. But TR is completable. Like, there's no reason not to just go straight into TR.
TR is Quake, though, so that means that Ravis can't go into
TR. Oh,
TR
sorry, you're
yet.
right. You're absolutely correct. Why did I think it was... Oh, yeah, okay. I was looking elsewhere. Yeah, so this is just absolutely Hookshot Cave and nothing else. That's potentially Spike.
I mean, that mirror can make a lot of checks a lot easier, but it does bring new checks in. K45 Graveyard Ledge, and it gives the idea of King's Tomb, although they can already do King's Tomb at the moment. So, in all fairness, mirror might be more of a hindrance than a help for Ravis right now.
It's Quaker Flute is what we were wanting to find outside of things that are mirror locked here. Because otherwise, this is gonna push Ravis into just giving back all this time he saved.
So yeah, Ravis
just kind of working it out here. What we haven't done, what we haven't seen, I think we're at the point now where either Quake or Flute has to be either Green Pendant, or I don't remember if we saw both items out of Skull Woods. If we haven't, then Moth. One of those two are kind of our last spots for this progression, right? Aside from Swamp now.
Aside from Swamp, yes. So Swamp has six items in it.
Two of which we've already agreed are swords, by the way.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, 2 of which are swords, so we'll see. I don't believe, well, we know if anybody has defeated Moth, but by the lack of swords, it's highly unlikely anybody defeated Moth anyways. Ravis is going to be checking K45 before perhaps doing a Swamp Palace tip. we'll just see what he does specifically. P-Train has defeated Helmasaur, and that is his third crystal, getting those flippers.
I know no runners have defeated Moth. I'm not sure if we've already gotten our 2 items out of there. Because if Moth is potentially worth 2 items by virtue of an item still being available in Skullwoods, he does have the green pendant. So there is potentially some more excitement to be had in a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, that would be worrying for our runners, because a lot of them have dipped Skullwoods. Well, all of them have, because all of them have got that hammer, which was one of the 2 items. I think we've gotten all the items out of Skullwoods, actually. It's just that green pendant turn in.
Yeah, part of me thinks there was just bombs or something like that in the room that changes floors. I can't remember what it is. That said, though, we just need to get into Swamp. Desperately need to get into Swamp.
I mean, yeah. So this is a 55-minute Ice Rock cave from P-Train. I mean, we've already seen what it was, that it was nothing, but must be somewhat of relief for him.
Still 20 rupees. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like they're all playing the same seed.
Oh, could you imagine if they weren't? All the confusion. You would think we would have figured it out by now, though, if that were the case. I have at least some faith in our abilities here.
I don't. Well, in mine. In yours, I have faith in you. Actually, you would have figured it out. But would you have kept that information from me? That's the real question.
Oh my. Alright, we're getting our first actual Bombos tablet, which we know is nothing. Oh, just a little
Still, Ravis gets some love. That's nice to see.
Alright, Swamp Ravis. Let's go. Come on. Give us something fresh, new, and exciting. I mean, Swamp isn't fresh, neither new nor exciting. It is new. It's not fresh or exciting, though. So, but this is good. This will give us some new checks. Well, we do have P-Train still retracing the steps of Ravis through Ice Palace, and they're going to find absolutely nothing there. They're going to get Stone Cold? I don't know. Something pun cold related. Something. Dr. Bobtastic. He's finishing up Pod here, headed towards the back of the dungeon. And we have Old Man Sunshine checking the old man under the bridge. Old man, the man under the bridge. I don't know if he's old. I presume he's of less old because he doesn't have white hair. I don't know.
Okay, so... Yep, and... Yeah, so... Well, Ravis is in Swamp, which isn't fresh, but it is Swamp, so that's good. And those are silvers.
That's exciting.
I mean...
It's worrisome, but it's exciting.
Silver doesn't rust, that's why they put them down here.
I mean, I follow the logic. I don't like that kind of creates a comfort level for Ganon now. So maybe we see less extra checks for that sword, which we all want to see anyway. But you never know.
Yeah. But still, there's 5 more items in Swamp Palace, so we'll just see. I'm just trying to think of puns with Ice Palace. You call P-Train Ice Palace Train? If P-Train's in Ice Palace? Can I do that?
Yeah. You could say P-Train is going to get frozen in his tracks.
I see.
On his tracks. Because he's a train.
Good one. So, Ravis is probably going to be checking left side Swamp. P-Train is finishing up Ice Palace. Old Man Sunshine is going to be doing Catfish and Dr. Bobtastic is about to get those flippers and his fourth crystal.
I don't think there's any way you skip left side swamp given what we need, but I've seen crazier things done.
Yeah. Also, chat was pointing out that Dr. Bobtastic was at exactly 999 rupees, which is, well, normally a max limit. Sadly, Dr. Bobtastic has gone over. I think that should just mean in this game, you lose all your rubies if you go over 999. Well, you know, for this, the randomizer, it's 4 digits, so you can go up to 9,999, but, yeah.
There's our big key. And there's a big heart. Okay. Nothing doing still.
Dr. Bobtastic.
Big chest?
Dr. Bobtastic is about to be doing Pyramid Fairy. It's... No, not Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge.
Which, oh, right. Catfish and Pyramid Ledger still on the table.
Catfish has been seen, but Pyramid Ledge is just a single arrow.
Who did Catfish?
I think Old Man Sunshine did Catfish.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, if it's not in Swamp Palace, this might be big for the other runners, because that means if the other runners go to Skull Woods after their cross-check.
Yeah. There's Flute.
Well, there is the Flute. Ravis.
We're out.
Yeah, we're out. So Flute opens up Maya Shed, Maya, and Checkerboard Cave for Ravis. And those will be five possible items. Do we know how many items Ravis left in Swamp? Because I know chest-wise, but I wasn't counting items.
I think there's still one... What did they get? They got... There's a full heart. There was obviously the flute. And one more I know for sure. I think there's still 2 items, if I was counting semi correctly.
So yeah, and
so could still be there.
Get your salute.
Back.
And the bird is free. So yeah, 2 items in Swamp Palace. Ravis is going to Maya Shed and Checkerboard Cave, so this will
realize we're watching an hour and 2-minute fighter sword ball and chain guard in an open seat? Holy! We just witnessed an 8-swing fighter sword ball and chain guard at 62 minutes, at an hour and 2 minutes into a seed. That is phenomenal.
That is Quake in Maya Shed. That's I'm double checking it in my head. That must be go mode. Yeah, that's go mode.
Yeah. That was the last thing we're looking for. Aside from, bumping up to tempered would be a nice comfort pickup, but we're only seeing that if it's on the way here, grabbing keys and off a boss or something.
So yeah, Ravis in go mode, 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 28 seconds roughly. Another sword would be helpful, but we'll see if Ravis picks one up. These 2 dungeons left will be go moded, so it's unlikely any extra chests of which may have a sword will be opened.
Alright, let's see if we have a Godmire here. It would be nice to, for once, have the ability to go mode Mire and have a Godmire. They never seem to be the case together. Not for me, anyway.
P-Train is now checking Swamp Palace, so that means that he will pick up Flute, and we'll see if that means that he'll pick up the Quake that's in my shed. P-Train might be our second 10 to go mode, basically.
Yeah, even if he clears the entirety of Swamp looking for it, the only natural play after that, I think, is to hit up Mire Shed. So I think you're absolutely correct. I think he'll be the next to go here. Raven's just putting on a Mire Clinic here.
Where is that Mire key, though? Raven's picking up the first of 2 items in Mire, looking for that big key. Just a piece of heart, but it does give a life refill, which is nice to see, really.
Oh, that was a nice hammer dash. I like that. I really like that. Like this. I said it once, but he is putting on a clinic here in Mire. This is very pretty.
Yeah. Old Man Sunshine has defeated Cold Stare. That is his 4th crystal. And Dr. Bob-tastic has gotten his 2nd sword. Ravis, yeah, got the big key in Mire, so not a God Mire when it was a go mode Mire, but Ravis will be making his way towards the back.
We dodged cutscene by 1 check.
Always good to see.
Always nice to be lucky, you know.
So, looking at it now, P-Train is activating his flute. We'll see if that takes him to Mire. Old Man Sunshine is making his way into the Dark World. This may be a Skull Woods play to check the green pendant. Dr. Bob-tastic is in ice, completing that as it's a crystal, and Ravis is in go mode, doing, I believe, a spooky action glitch. In order to save a little bit of time.
Yep, absolutely. He's got spooky and he nails it nice and clean right away. Which is, that's a tough, I think personally anyway, it's a tough one to have down consistently. I do struggle with it.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Ravis is now facing off against Vitreous, and this is why the silvers are locked behind the 5-6 crystals, because silver is Vitreous's enemy. And that was the 2nd shield.
An unbelievably clean Mire with one minor exception. Ravis decided to plunk 1 extra arrow into the wall and just threw his perfect Mire away. Or is it a requirement? I think it's actually required that you throw 1 arrow into the wall, so maybe that was a perfect Mire. That was fantastic to watch, though. That was super, super clean.
So, yeah, answering your chat, Flute is in Swamp Palace and Quake is in Mire Shed. So Quake is basically locked behind Flute.
You see what Old Man's doing? Old Man Sunshine actually going to kill the moth. I'm gonna probably, I suspect, turn in that green pendant. So they've gone and made that choice to check green pendant over Swamp. They've made that call.
P-Train has got his Quake, and Old Man Sunshine getting that green pendant. I mean, I really hope that they get a sword for this from Sahasrara, because otherwise it's just going to be nothing for them.
I think odds of it being nothing are quite high at this point. It's a bit far-fetched to see something there, but I totally respect the decision to go and do that instead of Pendant Swamp.
It definitely makes some sense. So, yeah, we'll just see if it's anything possible. Ravis is going to be opening up Turtle Rock, so this will be a go mode Turtle Rock.
Silvers, did we address that one? Silvers were in Swamp. I don't know if you actually answered that or not.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I was reading while you were talking, and I could only do one or the other. And I managed to not remember a single word I read or a single word you said. Somehow I failed on both.
I didn't say anything, so I didn't respond about silvers. Yes, they were in swamp. So yeah, now P-Train is finishing off Maya. Dr. Bobtastic is completing Ice Palace. Old Man Sunshine is doing Feast Town, and Ravis is in Turtle Rock. So Ravis
Staying
is
true to this
definitely
seed. We're all in different places.
Dr. Bobtastic getting his fifth crystal.
It still floors me how divergent the seed has been the entire way through. It is just there's always been some variety of things to do all at once. There's been no clear single direction to go.
Apart from everywhere that we called out, which we probably shouldn't have even called it out, because once you say it's something, it just wills it into existence, I guess. But yeah, all our runners getting further into their progression. Ravis and P-Train are in go mode. P-Train has got his 6th crystal, and Ravis is going for his 7th. We'll just see what happens with Old Man Sunshine and Dr. Bobtastic, because they need to go to Swamp Palace. Until then, they're not going to be in go mode. Of course, they need to use the flute to go to Misery Maya, but that's a check a lot of people do anyways. To go to Misery Maya Shed for Quake.
I had completely forgotten that P-Train still hadn't finished up his desert yet. I felt like he was quite a bit closer to Ravis in terms of getting his 7th crystal. No, he's not. Actually, Ravis has a very, very solid, very clean lead here.
Yes, definitely.
So even though we say that like the entire seed has been fairly open and divergent, you could, at any given point in time, there was a handful of correct decisions. Ravis has just been the most correct the entire time. He's just done more things more right, which is, I think, the best way to have a seed go.
Also, I would also say, especially looking at Misery Maya, Ravis's execution has been great. And that definitely does help. Yeah. Ravis getting that key does not check the rest of Laser Bridge, because all Ravis needs now is doesn't even need it. All Ravis would want would be a sword to make that Ganon fight a little bit easier, but even then, all of our runners could probably do Master Sword Ganon, so it shouldn't be a concern for any of them.
We are going to have to go pick one more thing up, though, and we're going to have to do that fairly soon here, since we're just about done with Turtle Rock.
So, just to clarify, because we're about to defeat Shrinex, get your guesses in from 1 to 22 where you think the GT Big Key will be. What's your guess going to be, Nugs?
I think I'm going to stray away from my 13 today, and I'm going to go with 17. I think it's going to be fairly deep, and I'm just going to give them a chance to go find a sword, so I'm going to say 17.
You know what? Since you aren't saying 13, I will, just to see.
Yeah, I figured I'd give it to you.
If you were lucky this time, okay? I actually did get the get one right recently, but everybody gets right that number.
I'm pretty sure you were right last open.
Well, I was right in the last race, but you know. So that's his 7th crystal.
Hour 14 in the seed. We have all 7. We are headed to Ganon Tower.
Hopefully, Ganon's tower has 2 swords. Hopefully.
Personally, I just hope the big key's there.
You're making me worry that the big key isn't in GT. Thank you. We're not playing inverted key sanity. Well, I'm not playing this game anyways. I'm commentating.
I don't know about you, but I've been sitting here with the controller in my hand the whole time, pretending I'm Ravis. I am very good at this game now.
Yeah, I'm no. I feel like considering Ravis's choices and execution, I think everybody would say they're Ravis now.
The 114.54 is when Ravis made that jump off the ledge into Ganon's tower. So we'll see how far P-Train is behind. So 114.54. 50 rupees on the torch. That was our first check.
Yep. Shall I do the second one then?
Sounds good.
So Ravis going into Stalfos room. The second item is 10 arrows.
Small key.
Fourth is a small key.
Fifth, 10 more arrows. Well, that was really disappointing.
You're telling me.
Sticks and keys.
So we're going up to number 6. 20 rupees.
Still disappointed. Come on, Seed. Let's see something spicy. You might say that Ravis's climb thus far has been hopeless.
Because Ravis hasn't been checking Hope Room. So we're going up to... Well, this is yours.
Another key. Huzzah!
Ravis is now making his way towards Rando Room. And there are 4 items here. 8 through 11. That's a full heart.
That is a portion of a heart.
That's a portion of a heart.
And that's a full heart! That is a really weird set of rooms we've had so far.
So that's 8 to 11, and now is 12 and 13. Hope Room. So 12 is a single rupee.
13 is a full heart.
Well, I'm out.
But your chest was full of a lot of love.
As always.
Aww.
Aw. Still, there's 17 coming up soon. There's 14, 15, 16, 17 Compass Room. And that is, sadly, a fall from Ravis. Means that he'll probably have to redo the room.
The timing on redoing it, though, not the worst.
Yeah.
It's really bad when things
Definitely
get
not
out of
the
sync,
worst.
but there, at least he did it right the first time, so he was able to go back through really quick.
Old Man Sunshine at the moment is facing off against Argus. So we'll see if that's a sword, but
P-Train
14
is
is
actually...
the big key.
P-Train is doing all of Laser Bridge. He's looking for another sword there. Oh, there's a sword and a big key. Whew, sorry.
So congratulations, XKage, for your guess of 14. You win free rando seats for life, and wow, you are the best guesser here at this moment. Congratulations.
Really nice we got that tempered, though. That's gonna make this this climb a lot easier.
Yep. Nothing to worry when you're on Blue Mail, 15 Hearts, Tempered Sword. Like, this is good. Nobody did a Kern jump. They all found their hammer in Skullwoods.
Let's watch watch Ravis put on another clinic here as he does the climb. So far, so good. Things are looking really clean on the way up. It's actually really, really great watching all four of these. All four of these are showing off some really clean execution across the board.
Yep. I mean, people say, why have a gauntlet? It's just a load of pain and enemies. For these runners, it's a chance to prove your mettle, to show how clinical you can be in your execution in defeating these monsters, as Ravis faces off against Lambo 2 and defeats them with ease.
And even the room right before that, with the single, the Zyzak and the Stalfos on ice, the Ice Capades room is, like, I think one of the most annoying rooms in there, and he did it extremely clean and quick.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And Ravis is definitely getting off these Cane of Samaria shots. Clinically brilliant. And just flying through this gauntlet right now. And P-Train has gone into GT. It's going to save a bit of time. Oh. I saw the wrong stairwell for a second. It's probably going to do it similar to Ravis, so isn't going to enter Hope Room first. Yeah, Old Man Sunshine is going to be doing Maya now. Dr. Bobtastic is probably going to do Maya soon. And yeah, basically all our runners are getting into go mode now.
There's two of our runners choosing to finish up with Swamp, and not getting rewarded for it, but that's okay. Still made sense, there were still enough checks to do it.
Ravis defeats Moldorm 2 with ease, and is just going to hookshot over for the chest. Does not get the final chest.
And it is always rough leaving the gold sword behind.
I mean, actually, in my opinion, probably not. But, yeah, I mean, for presentation, definitely. Ravis versus Aga 2. What will the pattern be? That looks like it's a 3.
That was a really good 3. I'm getting a double to follow it up.
3-2, and then, well...
I think it was 2-2-2. It looked like the last one was 2. Yeah. That's still really good. That was... It looked like it should have been a triple on that first one. That was a clean angle he got.
It was because 2 of them hit at the same time, basically.
Mm-hmm. All we've got left is this big pig.
Ravis versus Ganon.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ravis is on 2 hearts. He might have potions that he'll be able to drink. At the moment, chooses to use the Cane of Burner. Is on half magic, so the mana cost isn't that big here. Is already on phase 2, probably will be on phase 3 soon. And then phase 4 is just 4 shots with the silver arrows. Is on phase 3.
Kirby thinks he still has his fairy and or a red potion, but he may have dumped his fairy earlier. I can't remember now.
And Ganon is teleporting away a lot. Again, the amount of Ganon teleports are the same for all runners, so it's not a concern.
What is this? Sir!
You said sir and Ganon stopped. So that is Ravis' 3rd hit on Ganon. 4th hit on Ganon.
That was absolutely a crazy amount of teleports. I agree with Chad.
Ravis
quite a while.
Yeah, Ravis got 1 silver hit on 2, 3, 4. Get your GGs ready in chat for Ravis, who has finished first on the restream. And I will get those times for you shortly.
And a GG to Ravis. As he crosses the bridge, he is done with the seed.
Yep, Ravis is first in the restream, second overall, with a time of 1:24.12, has been beaten by Gamachu with a time of 1:22.33. And yeah, get your GGs ready, and we will see
Very
if we will
close.
be interviewing Ravis.
Very, very close.
As that is happening, P-Train is making his climb up Ganon's Tower, while Soulman, Sunshine, and Dr. Bobtastic are in Misery Mire. The bottom left sprite, I think from as much as I remember. Oh, GG's Rolf Ravis.
GG's indeed.
Oh, yeah, I was muted in Discord, sorry. Yeah, GG's.
That was
Yeah.
one heck of a clinical show you put on in the last dungeon, last two dungeons entirely, and then GT. It was very pretty to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I feel bad about is not going into Swamp immediately and deciding to do Smith Jam before that. That's the only thing I can actually blame a little bit about myself, and, you know, a couple of mistakes, like falling twice in Paradox Cave and stuff, but otherwise everything was okay.
Yeah, I mean, there were lots of choices this seed. I mean, the one thing that stuck out for me was, were you worried at any time not seeing any swords? Because I remember all of the runners not getting swords by about 43 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, how would you, right? The two swords we found outside of GT were both bow locked, so you had to either, you know, water walk to your first sword if you saw that early with a fake flipper, but if you didn't do it, why would you do it then? So, and you don't know that there's a sword, right? And the other sword was in pot itself, like, not good. I don't know where the fourth sword is, but
We haven't seen it either. And I don't think at
yeah.
any time there was something better to do other than the things that everybody was doing anyway, so going to those swords wasn't all that enticing early.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
kinda
was a
made
nice,
sense.
it was a nice challenging seed. But I think what was crucial was the, and who could have thought it, the skull wood step early
Yeah,
on.
the hammer.
Yep.
That was
And
the one note that I made here that I think separated you from at least our pack of runners here on Restream was the hammer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that because we had no other weapon to finish these stones, so people doubled it there as well. I can go and finish pot immediately. First time there. That was pretty good. Except the quake, that was a little bit of a I mean, that was not fun, but yeah, I don't regret doing left side swamp. I think if I get the chance to, you know, skip the boss, then it's okay as well.
That's
And
a tough call to make.
yeah, I had one item left. It was either a waterfall chest or at Argus, but it didn't matter. I knocked out with 5 items opening up with the flute.
Yeah. Yeah, so P-Train is about to finish, so get your GGs ready for P-Train, and I'll get the time shortly.
One thing that I noticed with your routing, Ravis, I think you actually benefited from not getting the mirror as early as everybody else. Basically the trade-off, it looked like you avoided the mirror but got the hammer, and everybody else found the mirror and avoided the hammer, which allowed you to route just a tad more efficiently. Again, like you said, aside from some of the Smith chain you did, but the efficiency was key.
And we're joined by P-Train, GGs. And I haven't said yet, so P-Train, you did 128.04, and you are second on the restream, third in the race overall of about, 40 runners, so GGs.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I was on mute there. No, I'm kind of surprised. I was very, very, very tilted after that Paradox Cave crash. So I've made a bunch of dumb decisions to compensate. Usually don't put off Skull Woods like that with myths for Dark World. I definitely wouldn't have done so much in Hera. Miscounted some items here and there. Just after that Paradox crash, I kind of went off the deep end.
I mean, from sort of my notice of things, I didn't see anything too different from your routing to everybody else's routing effectively. Yeah, I mean, I was asking this before, but what do you think of the no early swords, the swords after 40 minutes?
Honestly, like, although I always prefer to have boots, I felt like that was like the main thing. Like, I don't mind not having a sword, but not having a sword while having boots is kind of annoying. But no, I mean, honestly, I was just kind of happy to for me that the lack of hammer and sword was worse than just the sword. There were a lot of things I wanted to do. In my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, well, maybe there's something on mods. So the people who did early Skull Woods, like if I find a sword, maybe I'm at an advantage to them. Also, not being able to do Thieves Town despite having been able to walk through the door very early. Just little things like that, just kind of just weighed on me in the back of my mind. But for the most part, I mean, even though you had like hammer, like you had access to red mail, so it was. I never felt like I was under equipped. There were things I couldn't do logically, but I felt safe for the majority of the seed.
I think the seed was nice enough in a way in that it didn't force you to go do like the first half of Thieves and skip the back because you didn't have a melee weapon or any way to kill blind. It didn't force you into those awkward positions. You were able to make the decision to skip the entirety of a dungeon and go do other things on the overworld and then come back to it. But you did say that you were on tilt a little bit after a crash. It didn't look like it. It looked like you still had everything kind of completely under control. Which, I mean, I guess shows with the time in the finish, so.
Appreciate it. Also, GG service.
Yo, GG's, buddy.
I mean, I'm just trying to think. When was the time that you just thought, and I know you've already talked a bit about this, Ravis, but just to go to Swamp for everything, because, I mean, that being a pendant, it can be a gamble, effectively. It's a gamble that paid off in this seed, but it was one of those things where it was how many checks do you want to do before finally going into Swamp Palace?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is 6 items still, right? And I had every other dungeon that was available to me done besides Green Pendant, Skullwoods, and Hera. So I had to choose a pendant, and I feel like with that hammer and that mirror, it was kind of difficult to go Swamp anyway if you don't get mirror early and then the hammer out of Skullwoods. So I thought, okay, Swamp is the play. I wanted to check K45 and Bombo's tablet and then go into Swamp. Unfortunately, I decided to do the Smith chain in between. And yeah, that might have cost me in the end, but I mean, GT Picky was also not on my side, so whatever. Could have played better. It's all good. Gamma's a good guy. And lucky to be P-Train. That's always a nice thing.
Look at that, you were both 151 for collection rate, which kind of makes sense. I think you guys did virtually all the same stuff with some minor hiccups here or there, but...
So did you have some trouble as well in Paradox Cave, P-Train? Because like I fell 2 times.
No, I walked in Paradox Cave and my game just froze.
Oh.
So I had to reset and then save the old man again and walk all the way back over. So I probably lost like anywhere from like 4 to 5 minutes, I think, trying to walk all the way back there. So at that point, I just tried to do some silly things. Like I probably don't spend as much time in Hera, trying to get the items out of there without the ability to kill Moldorm, especially like doing the basement and stuff like that. Also, I was like losing count of a lot of items and like not realizing what I had. Like I tried to do Spike Cave without a hammer, just because I was so mad that Hera didn't pay out. And I'm like, well, let me at least try to sequence break Spike Cave because I don't have a cane or a cape. completely forgetting I don't have a hammer, and then I forgot that I had the big key in Ice Palace, so I did Ice Tea over the big chest. Just some little things like that that were just kind of just really annoying me throughout the seed.
That's funny you mentioned
Like,
the
by the
spike cave thing up because we were talking about it on columns. Like, oh yeah, or does he have enough health to do it? He's got hookshot, he's got bottles, he's got red potion, he's got fairy. You pick up off of these. Oh wait, no hammer. So you got us
Yeah,
with that one
and
too.
I realized that right after drinking the red potion too, so that
Yeah.
was great.
Oh god, that's the worst.
Yeah,
That happens.
You
but
hate to
got
see
us.
that.
You definitely got us.
but yeah, by the time I had the decision to do swamp, I didn't feel like it was that much of a gamble because like what else did I have? Graveyard ledge, pyramid ledge, and catfish. And I think at that point I did have spike cave. So yeah, I mean at that point swamp was kind of a no-brainer. Like in my mind I was thinking let's just rush Bended Swamp like it's some great gamble that's gonna bring me back into the game, but in reality like I just felt like that was kind of the obvious play at that point. I mean you could have checked the one-offs, but I felt like the meta at that point would have been to go to swamp. I felt like most people would have done that.
I think
But
I
luckily,
think
I
everybody
did
on
the
Restream did, as you said, with the exception of Old Man Sunshine, who went and actually did Green Pendant Moth first and finished those cleanups.
Trust the mirror.
Yeah. I think there were some things that might have worked out in my favor. Like, I wasn't sure. I never know how many people like do Zora at the early game because I like all of a sudden like the meta for Sphere 1 is kind of shifting. Like I know that a lot of people don't check Lumberjack anymore, where like used to everybody would check Lumberjack at the beginning of the game. I know myself, like I like to put off Ice Rod Cave. People have different opinions on Fake Flippering the Hobo, things like that. So I don't really know where Zora sits in the meta anymore. But I was hoping that maybe the Zora Ledge sword might play to my advantage. And then doing DM strats in GT, which got me both the big key and tempered, really, really felt good.
Yeah. One thing that I did notice, specifically with respect to Old Man Sunshine compared to the rest of the runners, that I feel it's more of a philosophical question, but why? Basically, with regards to doing dungeons, you did dungeons early, whilst Old Man Sunshine did not. When do you decide to do those dungeons? Because it seemed pretty quick for all of you that you did Eastern Palace and Desert Palace quite quickly after receiving the items that you needed for it.
I mean, for me, my routing that I did early on with CAC didn't allow me to check the library and the race game because I saved and quit in Blind's Hut and never had the chance to check that because the way from there is like the same as Link's house basically. And I wanted to see if I get boots at some point. And when I finally found them, I went desert after Eastern. And then I didn't have much open. So the first time I saw the mids up there was actually when I got them. So I didn't know that there's like mids anywhere else. So I had no big, locations to choose.
Yeah, for me, just my Sphere 1 route for the South Shore, before finding any items, I planned on going Mini Moldorm, Dam, Agena. So finding the book in Mini Moldorm, it was very hard for me, like, not to justify going in the desert. Of course, there's worst case scenario, you find the compass and you save and quit, but I don't know. I felt like it was a decent play. Like the odds of you getting stuff to clear desert super early, I feel like that happens kind of rare. It definitely does happen, and I've been burned by that, where, I dive desert really early, and then I kind of have to, after clearing the rest of Sphere 1 or whatever Sphere 1 allows, you got to go back to get your Dark World access off of Lambo. Like, that happens, but I feel like that's the exception and not the rule. So,
Right.
yeah, and then, I mean, finding the bow on Spiral Cave, and then not having Dark World access, but then having the ability to single dip the eastern area, I thought was kind of a no-brainer. Like, there were very few things at that point that it would make sense to put off that play. You know, because especially I know some people like to dive Eastern early with or without a bow. Sometimes even before like Hyrule Castle or something like that. So yeah, no, early Eastern, especially if you have the bow, is just kind of like always a point I'm gonna make. Unless you have a mirror and like 2/3 Dark World access, in which case maybe you put it off trying to combo it with Pod, but even then, like I usually just bite the bullet and do Eastern. Because it's Sphere 1, right? Like you never want to put off your Sphere 1 locations for too long.
We mentioned Zora as like the early, potentially an early player, not an early player, and so on. And there's one kind of reasoning aspect to, like, we never had flippers. We couldn't do logically all of the whole Zora era. We only had access to Zora, but we had access to Zora for a very long time while still having one pair of gloves. My question is, the longer you spend without Zora becoming a problem and locking you out of, or becoming your roadblock to progression, does that incentivize you to stay away from the area even longer? It does for me, and I'm curious if that's another kind of mental thing that you see, maybe with the meta shift out of like Sphere 1 and other things. Like, does the longer you spend without it being a problem, are you more incentivized to ignore it?
For me, it depends on the situation. It was, given the way I was just making decisions this seed, it was very, very tempting to skip it altogether. But at that point, I'm on Fighter Sword. I don't have silvers. I'm 2 items from Go mode. So, you know, I highly doubt I'm going to hit Go mode in the Zora area. And it's possible that it doesn't have progression there, but even if it doesn't have progression, you know, like I can refill my bottle with the Waterfall Fairy. Maybe that gives me something good, especially if I end up doing Master Sword Silverless. If I get a green or a blue potion, that's going to make that easier, or even a red potion or a fairy, you know? Pretty much anything other than a bee would help me, would increase my survivability. So there was that, and just there's a number of things that you can find, and it worked out because I found a sword, you know, which I didn't need to complete the scene. I would have been all right in I would have gotten my master sword out of the compass room in GT, but no, I'd much rather finish on tempered rather than master sword. So that worked out. I mean, it can be tempting to skip it, but for me, the question I always ask is, what is my return condition? Like for Ice Rod Cave, my return condition usually is flipper checks or finding a flute. So even though you quote-unquote skip it in Sphere 1, it's not like I'm putting it off indefinitely. I'm just hoping for a better time to check it later on in the seed. And
Yeah.
after clearing Ice Palace, there was no return condition for the Zora area. And me personally in that situation, I wasn't willing to die on that hill. Let's just check it. You know, I don't want to lose because I didn't do the Zora area.
Choose your swords to die on, right? To be very appropriate.
But yeah, thank y'all very much for the restream. GG's again, Ravis. I do have to step out, so
Yeah, same for me. GG's, guys. Thanks for commentating and restreaming, and always fun with you. And GG's to Gamma and everyone else. And yeah, see you in the next race.
GG's.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for running. Take care, P-Train and Ravis, and make sure to give them and all our runners a follow. So, what we've got now is Old Man Sunshine and Dr. Bob-tastic. Dr. Bob-tastic is about to go to Compass Room, and Old Man Sunshine is on the climb. So, yeah.
We are about to find the big key for Bob.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
And that's the climb. When you said Bob, I was thinking, and Bob's got the third sword. I was just thinking for a second, you mean the anti-fairy on the torch, and I'm like, no, you mean the runner.
Yeah. Bob just rip. Lana saying in chat that Old Man skipped his sword. I thought did he not get the... Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Uh-oh.
Okay, well, yeah, I did not see that. I don't know if Nugs did as well. There is a sword in GT. And yes, bless you, Nugs. As Old Man Sunshine is dealing with his own problem of a sneezing Aghanim with clones.
I do not recommend that. Just, I held the first one in, and I thought I was gonna lose an arm.
Yeah.
We're good now, though. Sorry about that.
Well, we've still got the problem of the sneezing Aghanim sneezing at Old Man Sunshine with clones, so Old Man has gotten 2 hits down, 3 hits down. But yeah, are you okay, Nugs?
We're good. Oh, we're good. Okay. Carry on. Is that still on the 2?
I think that's...
Another blue? Oof.
Old Man
Having
Sunshine
a
is
few
either on
fundamental
5 or 6. That is 6, and
There we
Old Man
go.
Sunshine, yeah, will be facing off against Ganon soon. Old Man Sunshine dropping down to Ganon.
Fortunately, sitting on silver is tempered. Plenty of health. Blue mail. Pretty comfortable fight.
Yep. And Dr. Bobtastic is climbing up GT. So, Old Man Sunshine versus Ganon. Ganon is in his 2nd stage. Old Man Sunshine is just giving sword swings at the back, not getting defeated by the fireballs, and is using the Cane of Burner on the fire bats.
The laggiest lag spot in the game. Always a little rough.
And Ganon's on to his third phase.
Hold, please. We'll be back in a minute. He's only got 7 more teleports to go.
Did you count these?
Alright, after this one, he can hit him. Oh, you missed it. Yeah, we're good.
So,
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
But it's still some of the most teleports I've seen for Ganon in a long time. I don't wish that on anybody.
It makes you wonder, would it be better in this scenario to just fall and redo the fight and hope you get less teleports?
No.
So that's one
But
hit
I
from Old Man
sympathize with the
Sunshine.
idea.
2 hits for Ganon.
Uh-oh. Oh, that was dicey.
Oh, that is
Nice
4
recovery,
hits.
though.
Get your GGs ready.
It was definitely a little scary at the end, but they recovered just fine.
And that is Old Man Sunshine going through with a time of 1:47.43. Let's go through everybody in between, and we'll see if Old Man Sunshine joins us in chat. So, Vortex of Doom, 129.13. Lana being 129.35. Titos, 129.30. Sorry. 129.47. Nash Sorter, 132.17. Mundungu, 132.59. Dr. Diabetes, 138.04. Slumberjack, 138.10. Pikes Lovan, 138.53. Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, 141.25. Deep Fried 87, 143.15. The Pain, 143.39. Scupula, 145.25. Signums, 145.51. Joss, 146.16. The Dash, 146.29. Power to Mario, 146.56. Oba, 147.21. And then Old Man Sunshine finished with a time of 147.43. So GG's.
I don't know if you noticed that, but Old Man Sunshine, they wisely wrote out, oh, welcome. GG's.
GG's,
Hello.
Old Man Sunshine.
Speaking of, I was just saying, you very wisely allowed that last bat to push you directly backwards, because there's some serious danger of if because it reverses your controls. Very
Because I
easy
totally
to
did
panic
that
and
on
run off
purpose.
the edge. Well, I'm just saying, it looked like you very wisely and there's a lot of experience letting you just ride that one out instead of running off the edge. So,
We'll say that.
yep. I'm giving you all the credit on that one. Nice job.
Please, thank you.
So,
So, yeah, the first 50 minutes of my run were very pointless.
Yeah, they were for a lot of people.
didn't.
Yep.
Yeesh. Yeah,
And
I lost the
everybody's
pitted hammer.
climb, or everybody's start of GT was very hopeless as well.
I'm just glad I didn't go all the way to the bottom before I went back to the right side to go get the big key.
So, yeah, how did you find the seat?
It was okay until I had nothing to hit anything with. And then I missed that hammer for way too long. If I'd gotten that sooner, I would have had a really good time.
Yeah, I think early on, without access to melee weapons and such, yeah, there was a bit of an exercise in futility with some things, but I think if you somehow make that decision to go into Skullwoods early and you just miraculously find the hammer, things are just golden. But not everybody's making that play.
Normally I would do that, and no, I didn't. Well, no, I didn't actually go in there, but yeah, normally I would go in there because Skullwoods usually has the goods.
So, get your GGs in for Dr. Bodtastic, who is, 4th on our restream and 24th overall, with a time of 1:50:26. And yeah, I'll say the people in between: Josh Bittner 1:47:52, Sawyer 1:48:46. So GG's to everybody. And we should be joined by Dr. Babtastic soon. One thing that I specifically saw when looking at your outing, and I'm not sure if it was because you were able to find all the items in the first sort of 10 minutes, in the right order, more opposed to everybody else, but you decided not to go into any dungeons early on. Instead going into the Dark World. What were your plans behind those plays?
The idea there was not having a sword. I'm not very used to swordless, unfortunately, so I didn't have as much confidence. So my hope was to somehow luck across a sword as I was skipping around the place, and I met with absolutely no luck. So.
Okay, and we're joined by Dr. Bodtastic. GG's.
Yo.
GG's, sir.
So yeah, that was a thing.
It was. It was the thing that happened.
Yep. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I personally could have done a whole lot better. I know there were a couple of dingus moments in there where I was like, oh, right, I wanted to do this thing. And just ran back in there. And I was a little bit annoyed with myself that I didn't check the Turtle Rock medallion when I went up there the first time.
Oh, dear.
And that's why I went up there hoping to go into Turtle Rock and couldn't.
Ouch.
I was like, oh. And so that led me to go ahead and do Moldorm and Spike Cave. And that in turn led me to actually beating Argus, because I'm like, well, if I have one pendant already, I might as well, and then, of course, you get the flute, you get the quake, and you're done. Yeah.
I almost last located hammer, if it's worth anything.
Fair. I wasn't exactly early on that, but I wasn't last locating it.
I think one thing that's very interesting that was a theme of the entire seed was a lack of syncing up. Everybody was doing something different pretty much at all times. There's very rare scenarios where two players of you four were in the same spot, which is very, very cool to watch, and highly recommend kind of flipping through it back on Restream just to see what you think. Because, yeah, whatever you did, nobody else did the same thing at the same time. It was kind of crazy.
Sorry, trackers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was tough to follow for sure, but the trackers definitely did a heck of a job keeping us on the ball.
Yep. Somebody asking what my sprite was in chat. That's Vivian from Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm boring. I use the old man.
Well, I mean, it fits, right?
But then I save myself from the dark cave.
Well, you,
So
you
I like
always
to
you
kinda
need a
do-
moment to find yourself in every seed.
Yes, exactly.
A lot
I
of
like
times
it.
I like to do random sprites, but when I'm doing a race, I like to use Vivian because it's a sprite I can use.
You're consistent
And-
with it.
Well, basically, any sprite that doesn't like obscure the shadow, I'm fine.
Mhm.
But this
Oh.
one definitely doesn't obscure the shadow, so. So there
I
we
can
go.
I can 100% relate and respect that decision for sure.
Mhm.
You just play as the shadow then.
I could do that.
Invisible Link.
I mean,
a shadow and a hat. That's all you need. A shadow and a
There
hat.
you go.
you could play as a fish. I mean, that's a rather small sprite. In all
Yeah,
fairness.
but the fish covers the shadow.
Oh.
It's on top of the shadow.
Oh. Whoops.
See, he's thought of this.
These are the things I have messed with. Anyway,
Yeah, just thinking about the seed. Yeah, I've asked you what the thoughts on the seed are. You've said roughly about thoughts on 40-minute sword. Would you like to go into that?
sword. Like my sword was quite late. I'm sure. You know, I didn't go over there until I had the hammer, of course, and that was after I had already done a bunch of shenanigans. But shout outs to Samaria Blind. That was fun. Let's see. I am glad that I decided to go do the Zora checks before doing Ice Palace.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
That was very good. Got that
It's
second
just like,
sword for
I
me.
could really use a sword here. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Yeah. And then of course the other two swords just kind of hiding in GT like you do. I don't know anybody who's sitting on Master Sword who finds the big key in that first chest who doesn't check the other three in the room. You know what I mean?
I know one person
have.
who did. They
Yeah.
are in chat, or they might still be in chat, but they're in this race.
There.
No, I accidentally got the sword first. So
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, Lanabine was saying that they noped out right after grabbing the Master Sword, or sorry, right after grabbing the chest or the big key. Wow, English words found them.
English words.
That's
Good
impressive.
times.
Well, the thing is, anyone who does that, I have to admire your confidence. That's all I have to say.
or need for speed. Because if I'd seen it first, I would have noped out as well.
Confidence and craziness are so very closely intertwined.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about a need for speed, what did you all think of early boots in the seed?
Yay!
Early, my rear end. I mean, it wasn't that. It wasn't late, but it was later than I would have wanted to get them, like over in Eastern, or it was in Salazar's closet, and you know I saved that for quite a bit. Like I did Spiral Cave without the boots, and then I had the bow, so I went over to Eastern, and there they were.
And there they were mocking you.
Yup.
I actually went to Sasla early with that exact mindset. I don't want to be left out if there's something good in there.
Oh yeah,
Fair
and
enough.
just looping that back in, you were rewarded with being able to do Dark Death Mountain and Death Mountain together.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was good.
As soon as I got that, I was like, ooh, I can get the mitts, I can go up to the mountain, I can get almost everything. Nice.
I definitely climbed Death Mountain 4 times. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
so,
because
it's
there was
Sunday. You got to get those steps in. It's a good day. It's a good day of the
There.
week for it.
very healthy. We need a step counter in this game, I swear.
No, we don't. We really don't. Because I will set every high score.
You're on.
Wait, VR Link to the Past randomizer, where you've got to walk
no.
tutorial.
No,
Don't give me
please.
any
You
ideas.
put off Zora Ledge because you can't find a public pool that's open.
Link to the past, go. Let's do it.
Okay. I
A
think
piece of heart. Ooh, a
I
piece of
think
heart.
we're good.
Sorry.
I think we're good on that one. Thanks everybody for putting up with me. And
Hey, thanks for joining us,
thanks
and
for
thanks
the-
for running the seed.
thanks for the restream. I'll see you
Yep.
all later.
Thanks for everyone who worked on this. Appreciate you.
Well, just thank you everybody, really. I think it's time to wrap up, so thank you, Old Man Sunshine, thank you, Dr. Bobtastic, thank you, P-Train, thank you, Ravis, for allowing yourselves to be restreamed. As always, it's a joy to commentate alongside you, Nugs, and thank you to our trackers and Speed Gaming in general for all of this. And yeah, there's not much more I can say. I haven't checked what other races there are going on at the moment. I can see just at a glance there's Super Metroid on Speed Gaming 2 and Super Mario Bros. 3 on Speed Gaming 6. And yeah, just thank you. What do you want to say, Nugs?
That's pretty much echoing everything you said. It's always a pleasure to commentate with you. Look forward to doing it again sometime soon. I do know there is upcoming casual boots races, or at least one today, one every day on the Speed Gaming channel. So do check those out as well. There's one. Next one is tonight. What is it? Speed Gaming. It'll be on Speed Gaming 3 at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. If you're in the mood for some more ALTTPR. But yeah, that's it. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and had a wonderful weekend, and we shall catch you next Sunday.